Hello friends, welcome to week 9 of CC's Cycle 1. This is our recap of what we did today. For timeline today, I went ahead and hid all the cards ahead of time before the kids got in the room. So when it was time for timeline, I had them all quickly run around the room, try to find the cards, and then get in a line and try to unscramble the timeline to the proper way. They had to sing it a few times in order to figure out what came. For math, I brought in a giant poppet. It's a 15 times 15 poppet. So we all said the 15 facts while one friend tried to see how many he could get through before we were all done. He was only able to do about a third of it. And then we had another friend try, he also got a third. Then I had another friend try, he also got a third. So then we said, okay, one friend will do some and then another friend will do another and see if between two people they can finish the thing. It still was too much. Or the reciting was too fast, I don't know. But we did end up reciting the 15s 7 times. By the end, it did take 3 friends to get through the whole board. And that was actually a lot of fun. For history, today we learned about Lao Tzu and Confucius in China. I had all the words written out on the board, and then we heard the song a couple times, and then I erased some of the words and had them sing the song a couple more times, and then I erased even more words and had them sing it again, so we were able to get through it 7 times. For Latin, we sang the song from CC Connected, and we realized it's to the tune of Here We Go Loop-de-Loo, and it does have a lot of U's, like us, ooey, ooh, and so a good way to remember it would be if you make your mouth into a loop, ooh, then it's all the oohs, and the song is Loop-de-Loo, so maybe that's a good way to remember it. For English, today's propositions were outside, over, past, regarding, since. And we did say them a couple times, and then I went ahead and gave them the list from the back of the guide that has all the prepositions, and for any kids that needed to use that, they were able to use it. Otherwise, a lot of the kids were able to just sing the entire song from memory, which is very exciting. I told them that at the end of that section, when we finish our preposition song, I am going to bring them some papaya juice, because I feel like the beginning of the song says papaya, toot 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 papaya, and every time at our house when we drink papaya juice, we actually think of the preposition song. So I am going to be bringing that to them as a reward at the very end. For science, the question was, what are some parts of a plant? Some parts of a plant are, and then we made a plant, and we said, leaves, stems, roots, leaves, stems, roots, leaves, stems, roots, and just chanted it really quickly a few times. For geography, we looked at China, and I did ask them to go ahead and look at what we had been studying last week, which was India. So I told them to find India, and then find the Himalayas, and then north of the Himalayas is China, and told them to look for Beijing, to remember the name beige, the Yangtze River, we said maybe that sounds like Yahtzee, the Yellow River, the Yellow Sea, and Mongolia. And we did do a lot of show me, tell me, and then also took advantage of their maps being out and reviewed some of the past week's work as well, so that we could kind of mix it up a little bit, because they are masters and they are super smart and already can find these places very easily. So as a way to clear their short-term memory, I had them look for other places from past weeks and then would bring in today's memory work, and that worked out really well. For fine arts, we're still studying our music theory, and today we got to talk about notes and their value and the staff, and I came up with this cool thing in the middle of the night yesterday to teach the kids the note values in a visual way, because I was thinking how my kids especially just love hands-on kinesthetic learning, and that's one of the math curriculums that we use, has a lot of hands-on stuff like this, and I thought, music is math, so I just thought this would be perfect. So this would be the value of a whole note, and then 2 of these half notes equals 1 whole note, and 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes equals a whole note, or 2 quarter notes equals a half, and then all of these are eighths. And I showed them how it's like division. This would be 4 beats, and then 2, 1, half a beat. And we talked about how you would say all of these if you were singing them. This would be ta, this would be ta, this would be ta, and this would be ti. So if you were going to say all of these, it would be ti 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 ti, and these would be ta 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 ta, and this would be ta ta, and this one would be ta. So we did that a few times, and then we played it using our tin whistles. And then I kind of blew their minds a little, because this wasn't in the curriculum, but I know that a lot of my kids do take music lessons outside of CC and have already been learning how to read music And this is also probably their 5th year, some of them even 6th year of doing CC. So they've done this quite a few times now. So some of these things are sticking. And so I turned this around and I showed them how there are rests that also have these different values. So this is a whole rest, a half rest, a quarter rest, and an 1/8 rest. And then I let the kids play with these. So I let them create their own measures using the notes, and then we tried singing it or playing it with the tin whistle. For fine arts, so for now it was very easy to just compose rhythms using these, and I just kind of let the kids put these together using the rests as well as the notes. So like something like this, and then we would all sing it together or play it on the tin whistle. It would be ta ta ta. And for science, we identified a grasshopper. We had all the materials for safety: goggles, gloves, pinchers, magnifying glass, and then each child got to look at one of these lovely specimens and look at it, talk about it, share with the class what they observed. We tied it back to previous science weeks. For week 1, it was the kingdom of living things. So this is part of the Animalia, right? Because it's an animal. For week 3, we asked about the parts of an animal cell. And then week 5, the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates, what they thought this was, and what made it an invertebrate. Obviously the fact that it has an exoskeleton and not an internal skeleton. And from week 7, how do animals reproduce? And then they gave me the list, and then I asked how they thought grasshoppers reproduce, and someone did know. It's an insect and therefore it lays eggs. So they had a great time. The kids were so engrossed. They were so pumped. Some of the kids were like, this is the best week ever. And then some of the other kids were like, I was in that camp with them, like, just keep it away from me. But I was one of the lucky moms that had a kid that brought their grasshopper home. Hooray. Hooray, we're gonna stick him in a jar and see how long he lasts. I believe his name is now Gerald. For review, we went ahead and just had everyone sit, and I just read the questions and had them all answer so we can get through a lot of the questions very quickly, one after the other, so that in the last 10 minutes or so, we were able to actually play musical chairs, which was a big hit, and we listened to the multiplication song while we did that. And we were able to play 3 or 4 rounds, so there were quite a few winners, and it was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys.